So one of the things that we get pretty much told quite a lot and focus on is setting goals on our accelerator program. So we have something called a temp check. So we meet up with our mentors every 2 weeks, and they set us 3 goals to achieve in the next 3 weeks, 3 things we must get done. So it could be like small things, number of clients, a certain number of revenues, or a new contract, for example, or even simple things as like setting up Google AdWords campaign. But then we also have long-term sort of goals, like 3 months goals and 6 months goals. So it's quite good to get those in, like get a long-term goal in, maybe in 6 months time I want to get to this much revenue, but then break those down into monthly revenues and focus on those. I think it's definitely helped me for sure, because you know exactly what you're working towards. And it's also quite important for your team to know that, yeah, this is where we want to be and this is what we should achieve each month. So I think it's definitely an interesting or very important part when you're setting up, is to have goals. Otherwise, it's, you know, if you don't have goals, it's a bit like getting in the car, but you don't have a destination, you don't know where you're going. So you just pretty much end up just driving around, not getting anywhere. So when you're setting out, I think my number 1 tip is have a goal on where you want to be. Number 1 tip is have a goal on where you want to be.
How do you set goals for yourself and the business, and in terms of motivating your team as well?
So we look at, there's a methodology called SMART. So something like, you know, is your goal specific? Is it measurable? Is it achievable? Is it realistic? And is it time bound? So you look at all those things. So you can say maybe, you know, things where people say, you know, I want to lose weight. But that's so vague. That goal is so vague, it doesn't have any meaning. It doesn't say how much you want to lose, or how long do you want to, like, when you want to lose it by, or anything like that. And it might not even be like realistic. Someone might say, I want to lose like 10 kgs in a week or something. That's crazy, right? So when we're sort of setting up goals, our sort of long-term goals, we look at whether it's quite specific. We know exactly what we want to do. We want to launch in, for example, 5 locations in the UK. And we want to do this by, I don't know, within sort of 3 months or 6 months. And is it realistic? Do we actually have the resources for it? And, you know, is it actually possible to do that? So we try and use that smart methodology when you're setting up goals.
What short-term or long-term goals have you set for yourself, and where do you see yourself in, say, 2 to 3 years, you and your business?
2 to 3 years, I want to be established in the UK, so have different sort of hubs pretty much all around the UK, where we'll have centres where kids can come and pretty much learn. And then I think I want to be in a stage where I have pretty much delegated most of that work, so it's more of a personal thing for me. So I want it to sort of run itself, and then I could then look at expanding it to, you know, maybe doing more adult stuff, or maybe expanding it to outside of the UK. So those are my kind of goals.